Welcome to This Explainer. I want you to think about something right off the bat. What if your cat has been waiting for you to do just one specific thing their entire life, and you've literally never done it? Today, we are going to explore the kind of heartbreaking realization that your cat has been quietly waiting for you to do a few painfully simple things pretty much since the day you brought them home.
See, most owners think they've completely figured their cat out, right? You buy the right food, you get the little toys, you scoop the litter box, and you think, okay, I've got this covered. But actually, there is a surprisingly long list of things your cat quietly craves that almost nobody talks about.
And honestly, here is the truly heartbreaking part about all of this. We aren't talking about big, complicated gestures here. These things are painfully simple. But if you just keep getting them wrong, which, let's be real, most well-meaning owners do without even realizing it, your cat will eventually just start to give up on asking altogether. So let's dive into the 6 things your cat has been waiting for you to do.
Okay, let's jump into number 1, reimagining their safe space. So picture this. Have you ever caught your cat scrambling up on top of the fridge or scaling your wardrobe only to immediately pull them down and kind of scold them? We all do it. But what you are seeing as misbehavior is actually your cat desperately seeking a high vantage point to fulfill a really deep psychological need. They absolutely aren't trying to be bad. They're just answering their deepest, most basic instincts. The science here is actually mind-blowing. Scientific studies clearly show that cats who have access to vertical spaces have significantly lower stress levels than cats who don't, period. It's not just a casual preference, it's a hardwired psychological necessity for them. Being up high gives them this sense of total environmental control. Because in the wild, height means safety, it means control, and it basically means, hey, I can see everything and absolutely nothing can sneak up on me.
Think about your own home for a second. Where exactly does your cat go when they get overwhelmed or scared? If they immediately hide low behind the couch or squeeze themselves under the bed, well, that tells you something incredibly important. It means they were never actually given the option to feel safe up high. A really simple wall shelf, a tall cat tree, or even just clearing off the top of a bookshelf can change everything for them. Because once they get that high place to own, they literally stop hiding and start watching.
Now, a safe space isn't just about physical height, right? It's also about predictability. Beyond just space, they desperately need routine. To a cat, time is experienced in patterns. Studies show that unpredictable environments are actually a leading cause of chronic stress in cats. And we aren't talking about massive changes like moving houses. We mean simply feeding them 30 minutes late or skipping playtime for a few days. That completely breaks their internal map and leaves them constantly on guard. And a cat on guard, they just don't have the emotional energy to relax and actually bond with you.
Moving right along to number 2, the rules of touch.
This is where we need to talk about the trust account. Have you ever reached out to pet your cat and they just kind of flinched or ducked their head away? Most of us just shrug that off. But here's the thing. Every single uninvited pet drains this invisible trust account. Doing it once or twice, sure, fine. But dozens of times a day, week after week, that balance runs completely dry.
Cats are super unique here. They are one of the only domestic animals that absolutely need to initiate affection on their own terms for it to actually feel good to them. Look at the real invitations. A little head nudge, a slow walk toward you with their tail straight up in the air, or curling into your lap entirely unprompted. Those are your green lights. The intrusions, like just reaching down to stroke them because they happen to walk past, are you making the decision for them. And that actually pushes them away.
So to rebuild that trust account, you literally have to stop reaching and start waiting. I know this is incredibly tough because, well, we love our pets and we just want to squeeze them, but letting them walk past without touching them is ridiculously powerful. If you do this, it magically transforms you into someone who finally feels safe to approach. You give them the control, and in return, research shows they will develop a much, much stronger bond with you. And this brings us to a massive mistake we almost all make. Going straight for the head is a huge error for one very simple reason. A cat's sense of smell is 14 times stronger than a human's. Scent is exactly how they read the world, how they identify you, and how they decide if a specific moment feels safe. When you skip the sniff and just go straight in for the pet, it's exactly like a stranger skipping a polite hello and going straight in for a tight, completely unexpected hug.
The right way to do this? It's almost too easy. Just follow a painfully simple 2-second pause before petting. Offer your finger, wait for them to take in all that scent data, and just look for the response. A little bump or lean in, that's your green light. Pulling away, that's your red light. This tiny, tiny pause shows them that you actually respect them enough to say hello properly, instead of acting like some hug-happy stranger imposing on their personal space.
All right, on to number 3, communicating on their level. I want you to really think about the world from their physical perspective for a second. Because your cat spends their entire life looking up at you, animal behaviorists note that they interpret your towering height as a very powerful signal of threat or dominance. To them, you are this giant figure who stomps around, drops things, moves fast, and makes loud noises. From down there, you can seem incredibly unpredictable and intimidating. So when was the last time you actually just sat on the floor to be with them? Not to grab them, not to force them into a carrier or give them medicine, but just to exist in their space. Next time they are lounging around, just sit on the floor a few feet away without reaching out. Seriously, watch what happens. Making yourself smaller completely changes how they look at you. It instantly makes you way less intimidating and highly approachable, which is an absolute game changer for shy or anxious cats. And hey, while you're sitting down there, talk to them, out loud, using your normal voice. Here is a genuinely mind-blowing fact from the research. Adult cats almost never meow at each other. They developed these vocal patterns exclusively to communicate with humans. Let that sink in. No other cat sounds exactly like yours because they tailor their specific voice just for you. So talk back. Say good morning, narrate what you're making for dinner, tell them about your day. They are listening, and they absolutely know when you are speaking directly to them.
Which brings us to our final point, number 4, the ultimate trust payoff.
At the end of the day, these aren't big, complicated gestures, right? You don't have to buy expensive stuff. They are just deeply empathetic shifts from a human-centric view of pet ownership to a truly cat-centric one. It's all about respecting their instincts, honoring their physical boundaries, and finally recognizing that they experience the world fundamentally differently than we do. So I'm going to leave you with this one provocative thought to wrap up our explainer today. What new, amazing, affectionate behaviors will your cat reveal once they realize you finally understand exactly what they've been waiting for their entire life? I promise you, when you start speaking their language, you might just find you have an entirely different, incredibly loving cat living in your home.